Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine. Right. So in the today's class, let us discuss about how to install the Power BI and how to extract the data from Power BI from the Excel sheet to the Power BI, and we'll study about some important basics that we can understand from here. Okay. Now, so in order to understand like Power BI, like I've already explained to you. So once if you want to open the Power BI desktop from your mobile, from your laptop. So you need to go to the Power BI desktop here. So if Microsoft Store is there in your system, okay, suppose Microsoft Store. So if here the Microsoft Store is present in your system, so you need to click on that Microsoft Store. Okay. Once you click on the Microsoft Store, just you can directly open. It is ready to download. So already the Power BI desktop is installed in my system. So it will directly open from here. Okay. But as a new candidate, like if your Power BI desktop is not installed in your system, there is some error it is coming. But if you open your Power BI desktop in the Microsoft system and in the Microsoft Store, if you click on Power BI desktop here, instead of retry, you will get an option called as download. Okay. So once you click on the download, this Power BI desktop in this structure, it will open to you. So let us how the new file looks. So in order to have the file that in order to open the new files of the Power BI desktop, just I will try to what I will do, I will try to close this all the Power BI desktop files. So these are the previous file that I have taken. So I will try to delete my old files over here so that it will be become easy for you. Right. Yeah. So once a Power BI desktop is installed in your system, just you need to click on Power BI desktop. So once you click on this Power BI desktop, so this will be the interface that will be open to you. And I will send one link, which is a very 2 minutes link, how to install the Power BI desktop from Google. And there is an option to install the Power BI desktop from Microsoft Store also. But what is the difference? The difference is I recommend everyone to install the Power BI desktop through Microsoft Store system. Reason being, if you install as a month by month your Power BI desktop, what happens? The new every new month some new features will be introduced in the Power BI. So when you install through Microsoft Store, whatever the new features which has taken place in month by month, that will be updated automatically. But there is an option we can install the Power BI desktop. See, Power BI desktop download. If you download the Power BI desktop download through an option, download Microsoft Power BI desktop. If you click on this and within the 3 or 4 steps that I will share the link that what I have explained the previous batch so that you can follow the link and that you can download. But when you when you download the Power BI desktop through this link, through the online or Google, so the problem here is whatever, see, as of March 16, whatever the updates which are there in the Power BI desktop, that updates will be captured in that Power BI desktop. But if in the next month or in the coming month, if any new features are added, that features may not be reflected if you download through your Power BI desktop through Google. So it is highly recommended that you can download the Power BI through Microsoft Store system so that whatever the updates which has taken by month, if the Microsoft introducing any updates, so automatically it will be featured in this Power BI desktop when you download through the Microsoft Store. Just you click on the Microsoft Store and try to click on Power BI desktop. Just type as Power BI desktop here instead of retry. There is some technical error. It is coming as retry, but it will come as download. Just you need to click as download. Automatically, it will be download. That is a one-step process. Otherwise, you can go to the Google and you can download the Power BI Desktop from the Google. So I will explain the process that I have the recording for that, because it may take some time to download, because once you click on download, it will take some time. So that so I don't want to waste that time, but I will send the recording and I will send like how then you can, after the class, you can go and after the first class only you try to install the Power BI Desktop in the system, so that parallelly if I am explaining, you can parallelly practice on that. Okay. Now in this first class, what once you open the Power BI Desktop, so this will be the interface that you look. Okay, this is the interface that you look for here. So what is this interface will look like? There is an option called as blank report. Okay, when you open this report called as blank report, this is a blank report we are opening. So this is the Power BI interface. This is the blank report that we can open over here. Okay. Now the first step is, this is the Power BI Desktop, and through this Power BI Desktop, you will take insert that, you will bring the data which is used for analysis into your Power BI Desktop. So what is the use of this Power BI Desktop? We will connect the data. So I have said in the demo, there if these small organizations, they will store the data in the Excel format. If the data file is very huge, if the data is more, they will store the data in the form of SQL Server. Okay, in the SQL. That means SQL database. So if you click on import data from Excel, you connect to the data which is stored in the Excel. Import means getting the data from outside. Import means inserting or taking the data or extracting the data. We call it as import. So import data from SQL Server. If you click on this, you can connect to the SQL Server where the client will store his data in the SQL database and paste data into a blank table. What is meant by paste data into blank table? This option will help you to create the table manually. If you want to manually give some tables, if you want to manually enter some data in the table within the Power BI, you will use a paste data into blank table. And last one, use sample data. Use sample data means this Power BI itself will provide some data, some dummy data for you. So you can work on the dummy data and it helpful for you for doing some practice. Okay. So these are the different ways. With the help of Power BI Desktop, you can connect to the data from Excel. You can connect to the data from SQL Server. That means the databases. You can manually, you can create some tables within the Power BI. And next one, use sample data. That means you can practice some files, you can load some sample data in the Power BI and you can work on it. Now, apart from this, in the Power BI Desktop, there is an option called as get data. So not only from here you can get the data, there is one this interface here which is called as get data. From that also you can extract the data from other sources. Suppose think my data is stored in somewhere in the download sheet. Okay, in the download section in my Power BI Desktop, I have loaded. There is one file, Excel file by the name called as sample superstore data, which is saved in my downloads in my local machine, that is in my local laptop. I want to bring the data which is there in that Excel file into this Power BI Desktop. So how you can connect with the data? In the today's class, we'll study how we can connect with the data. So in order to connect with the data, you can click on this get data. In the get data, you can click on this. I want to connect to the Excel workbook, right? Just click on the Excel work. Now I have said I have stored my Excel file in the download section. So I will go to the download. And I have said my file name is sample superstore data. So there is one file name called as sample superstore data. See, I will click on sample super. There are three files. I want to connect with this sample superstore data one. So if you want to connect with this sample superstore one, you need to select that. After selecting it, you need to click on open. Once you click on open, the data which is there in this download section in the Excel file, that file will be loaded into your Power BI Desktop. So once you click on open, just time click on open, see the data, see it is loading. That means the data see, these are the data which is there in that Excel file. It is loading. It is that sheets will be appear over here. When you go to the download sheet in the Excel, it has three different sheets in that Excel. So one sheet, the first sheet, it has three different that sheets. We call it as tables. Okay. When you go to the download section, also suppose I'm going to download. If you want to see that file, search in the downloads. I want to go to sample superstore data, the file. This is suppose sample superstore data. This is some file you can see. Just if you want to open the file, you can see what type of the data there in the sample superstore data. So I will remove this. So in the download section, sample superstore one actually it is there. So let us see in the letter it starts with yes, right? If you want to see the data over here, it is somewhere. Let me open that file. Let us start st, right? Sample superstore data. Yes, yeah. So this is the file, right? We have in the download section. This is the file that we have connected. So let us see how this Excel is looking. And once we load into Power BI desktop, how it will appear. So in the download, this is the data that we have. So when I open that file, see it has three different tables. See three different sheets, orders table. This is the order sheet. We have the data related to the orders. That means what is row ID, what when they order date, when they have shipped the product, what is the ship mode, customer ID. These are the columns which are there in the order sheet. And it has second return sheet. In the return sheet, it contains the information to return and order ID. And third, we have people sheet. In this people, we have the person and the region. So this is the sheet that we have connected, right? We have connected that sheet. You can see over here. See, once we connect the samples to superstore dot orders, peoples, returns, these three will be up. Three different tables will be appear over here. Those three different tables are nothing but the sheet name or the tables which are there in the Excel. So now if you click on this orders table, it will show the preview. That means it will show what type of the data which is present. So row ID, order date, ship date. So this is the data. Once you click on this, what data is present, that data you can see over here. In the similar sense, in the orders, see in the orders also in the Excel sheet, we have row ID, order date, ship date. Same data you can find over here. Row ID, order ID, ship date. So if you select this, the data is selected. When you select from the people, see column person and region. See in the people's table, we have the data related to person and region. So same data it is appearing over here. Now, when I click on returns table, see return product yes and order ID. When you click on this return over here, you have return and order ID. So those are the columns that you can able to see over here. So once you select this data and after you have selected this, you need to load the data, right? In order to load the data into Power BI desktop, you need to click on load option, this load button. Once you click on this load, now this data is slowly it is loading into Power BI desktop. See, that means it is loading data, orders table, people table, returns. It will try to load. So based upon the file size, it will take the time. So as this is a data which is containing only few columns, so the data is loaded automatically. The data is loaded very fast. But in the real time, what happens? In the real time, what happens? So once the doubt you can get. So I have through the get data, I have connected the Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, I went to downloads. Okay. In the downloads, I want to connect the sample superstore data. I have selected the sample superstore data. I have collected on open and once you click on open, so what are the files that are there? I have selected this orders, peoples, returns. This you have selected and you have loaded. Okay. Now, once you load this data, now you will get a question, right? So where is my data? Where I can find my data in the Power BI desktop. Okay. So that is the question that will be comes to your mind. So whatever the data you will connect, that data will appear in the Power BI desktop in a section called as data section. This is the data section where you can find the tables that you have loaded. The order, people, return. These are the table you have loaded from here, right? From the Excel sheet that will be present in the data section. and there is a provision to open this. Once you open this, what type of the columns which are there in that particular table, you can able to see that column names. Once you click on open this orders table, it contains these are the columns which are present over here. You can see in the same sample superstore data, this is the orders table, right? Row ID, order ID, these are the column names, right? Ship mode, customer ID, customer name. So this is the data we have connected. So that information, if you want to see that column name, you can see the column name over here. And one more and if you want to close that column names, you don't want to see, just you click on it, the table will in the people's, we have the different name, column 1 and column 2. So, but in the people's table, what you have here in the people's table, we have person and the region, but it is detecting as column 1 and column 2. So what is the reason? Here, there is some transformation is needed, but I will explain you what is the transformation. Okay, in the returns table also, actually it should show the return and order ID. Instead of that, it is showing column 1 and column 2. So what is the reason that I will explain in coming 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, but the only thing is when you connect the data from that Excel sheet, that data will be present over here in the data section. Okay, now you can ask me, sir, you are showing the table name and you are showing the column name. But now I want to see what is that in each column, what type of the data is stored. I want to see the data. So in order to see that data, you can click on any, so you can go to, there is a view called as table view. There is a view called, when you click on the table view, go to the orders table and click on any one of the column. So then you can see the data which is there in that orders table. You can see row ID, order date. So this is the data which is present. If you want to see what type of the data which is present in the column, you need to go to the table view. So that you can see the entire data which is present in the column. So this is the same data which is there over here, right? In the sample superstore data one, that you have connected over here in the orders table. So in the same row ID, order ID, ship date. So same data it is present to row ID, order ID, ship, because you have loaded this data into the Power BI desktop. Okay. And if you want to see the data which is present in the people's table, so you need to go to the people's table and click any one of the column. So you can go to the column. Now you can see there is an option column 1 and column 2. Actually, person and regions, these should be the column headers. But the Power BI failed to detect this as an headers. What is the reason? I will explain you. Once we go to the Power Query, I will explain you why it is not detecting as an header. Just remember this point. In the coming for 5 minutes, I will explain you what is the reason behind it. Now, if you want to see what are the column in the returns table, open this return table, click on any one of the column. So you can see it contains in the returns table, yes or no. These are the columns which are written. Same there also you can see in the returns table, you can say return and order ID. These are the column names that we have that we can able to see over here. Now, the requirement is major what you will study over here. Once you need to understand this Power BI desktop, you need to understand actually what is this interface, what is the interface of this Power BI desktop, and you need to understand what are the different sections are there in this Power BI desktop. So when you open the Power BI desktop, this central part, we call it a, suppose I will take some screenshot for you. So it will be helpful for you, for me to explain in a better way. In the new, suppose I will take this screenshot of this Power BI desktop, right? This is the Power BI desktop. I have taken the screenshot. Now I will explain you, when you look at this Power BI desktop, this region, we call it as data section. This region, we call it as data section. Whatever the data that you have connected. So how you can connect it to the data? You can connect to the data from this section called as get data. So once you click on the get data, from here you can connect to Excel sheet. From here you can connect to SQL Server. Here you can connect to 30 to 40 different type of the sources that you can connect. So from this get data, so we have connected to the Excel sheet and the data will be reflected over here. This section we call it as data section, where the data will be present in the form of tables, and in and down what the different columns are there, those column will be present over here. Now, there is a section called as visualization pane. So this is called as visualization pane. So what is the called as visualization pane? Here, different types of the charts will be present by using this data. By using this data and by using these charts, you will create different types of the chart in this area. This we call it as report view. From here to here, this is the area where you can uh, build the visuals, where you can create your graphs, where you can create your report. So this entire region, we call it as report view. So this is called as the report view. When you open this report view, this body will open. So this is the central area where you can create a different type of the visuals. Okay. So visualization pane. So one more thing, this we call it as table view. So if you want to see what type of the data which present over here, you can click on the table view. You can see what type of the data is present over there. So here we have different type of the options. So when you want to see it in a live, see this is called as the data view. This is called as visualization. Different visuals are there. This we call it as the report view. This we call it as table view, where you can see what type of the data is present over in each column. And the third one we call it as model view. What is meant by model view? What are the different type of the tables that you have loaded? That loaded table will be appearing over here. And if you want to build a visual based upon two different tables, so we'll try to create the real relationship between these two tables. So that the creating of the relationship that you will be study after 10 or 15 hours of the class when we study about Power Pivot. So this is the modeling view means if you want to create a visual between this order table and people table by using two different table, we try to establish some relationship between the tables by using some common ID. So what is the common ID between those two? Based on that, we will try to create the relationship. But the creating of relationship that will be a separate topic when we discuss in the Power Pivot. I will explain you. Now this is called as table report view, where this is where we can build the reports. So there is one option called as filters view. So this is a filter section where we can select any columns. Here we can apply some different type of the filters over here. So these filters in the Power Query, we'll study the filter concept in the Power Query, and we also study the filter concept in the Power View. So entire Power BI course will be divided into actually four parts. The first part will be Power Query, where we'll try to use by using the Power Query how we can transform your data that you will study. In the second part, Power Pivot, where we study about how to create the relationship and data model. Third part will study about Power View, where how to create different type of visuals. In the last part, we'll study about Power BI service. This will help how to share your reports to the client. But just as a first hours of the class, first we will be studying about what is Power Query. In the first 10 to 12 hours of the class, we'll study about the Power Query itself. Okay. In this Power Query, what is a Power Query? It is called ETL tool. That means you can extract the data, you can transform the data, and you can load the data. Now, let us study about the Power Query itself. So what is the use of the Power Query? So with the help of the Power Query, so once you connect the data, so I have connected this data over here, the orders table I have connected, people's table and returns table we have connected. So I have explained you, this is the file home insert. This is the general, the types of the interface that you can look over here. In the home tab, you have different types. In the insert, you have different types. In the modeling, you have different tabs. In the view, you have different types. In the optimize, you have different types. So in the coming classes, we'll be discussing about what is the use of this. But our first topic will be Power Query. Okay. So now what is the use of the Power Query? This Power Query is useful for transforming your data. Now from the Power BI desktop, now I want to move to Power Query. Okay. How I can move to the Power Query? In order to, this Power Query is useful for transforming your data, right? In order to move to the Power Query, you need to click on this data called as transform data. Once you click on from here to the transform data, you will be moving to Power Query. Okay, this is the Power Query that we found in over here. In the Power Query, you have different type of the text. See, what are the orders table, people's table, returns table, that what we have loaded, those table, it will be present over here, orders, people, and return. Now, now I will say you orders table it is fine row ID, but in the people's table, there is one problem. So person and region, see, these are actually the person and region, they have they have segregated it as a first row. But as a rule, when you look at the sheet, this person and region should move to the columns. Actually, person and region, you know, the person is a header, region is a header, and these are the names. West, East are the names you know. But Power Query don't know. Power Query what it thinks, this is person, Anna, Chak, March, Killy, region, all these are texts, right? So they thought all these are same. That's why it has failed to give the header to that. It has think that it don't know, right? Power Query don't know person. It know all these are characters. Person is a character, Anna is a character, test character. So it has thought all these are the same data. But as a Power BI developer, you need to see this data. And by looking at this, no, person and region, these are the column headers. So I need to bring this person and regions to the top. I need to make it as a headers. So I want to transform this data. Now, how you will transform this data? How you will bring the person and regions which are there in the row one, and I need to set them as a column headers. In order to use that, there is an option called as use first row as headers. That means person and region, this is the first row. So that first row I need to use as headers. You click on this, use first row as headers. Once you click on it, see now person and region which are there in the first row, we have made that into the column headers. Okay. Whatever you make the transformation, that transformation will be recorded over here. The, that transformation will be recorded over here. This region we call it as applied steps. Applied steps means whatever the changes you make. See, this is called as Power Query. We are in the Power Query editor. With the help now, in coming 10 or 10 hours or 15 hours of the class, I will discuss only on this Power Query. I will go to the home tab and I will explain what is the use of each and every tab. After completing, I will go to the transform tab and what is the use of each and every this menu based option. I will go to the add column and I will try to cover what are the different use of each different type of option. I will go to the view and I will try to explain what is the use of this view option. So each and every option I will try to explain you in the coming classes. In the coming next 10 hours of the class, you will be discussing about the Power Query itself. Okay. Now, let me go to the returns table. In the returns table also, again, see returned order ID. So returned, it is a text, order ID is text, returned is a text, yes, also text. That's why it also failed. Power Query failed to identify. It has failed to give, assign this as a column header. Okay, but now as a Power BI developer, you need to go to the data. This is the return and order ID. These are the column numbers, but these column numbers they have represented in the form of the row one. So this is not a correct representation. Now you need to bring this row one as a column headers. How you can bring it? You can go and click on the use first row as headers. Then you can bring that into this column header. That means row one has become the column header. So this once you have made these changes, now you need to save these changes, right? So you have made the changes. How you can save the changes? Once you make any changes in the Power Query, in order to make that changes, you need to come over here and you need to click on close and apply. You need to click on close and apply. Okay, once you click on close and apply, these changes will be saved. And from Power Query editor, you will go back to the Power BI desktop. See, now I have made these changes. I am clicking on close and apply. Once you click on close and apply, these changes will be saved in the Power Query editor. And again, you can go back to the Power BI desktop. And from the Power BI desktop, if you want to come again to the Power Query, you need to click on the transform data so that you can come back over here. Okay, I am clicking on close and apply. Once you click on close and apply, see those changes will be saved. Again, you will come back to the normal Power BI desktop over here. Okay. Now you can ask me, now we are in the Power BI desktop. Now you can ask me, sir, how I can go back to the Power Query editor? To go back to the what is the use of Power Query editor? It will help you to transform your data. It will help you to transform your data. So in the Power Query editor, if you want to go from the Power BI desktop to the Power Query editor, you need to click on this transform data. Once you click on this transform data, again you will go back to the Power Query editor. In the Power Query editor, with the help of these options, you can make the changes in the data. You can transform your data. So that is the use of the Power Query. Okay. Now let us see what are the different type of the options which are there in the Power Query and how you can able to transform your data. Right. Now, orders table, people's table, returns tables are there. Okay. So these are the tables that we have loaded. Now, the major requirement is first, in order to understand the Power Query editor, first you need to understand the interface of this Power Query editor. So what is the use of this interface? You need to understand what is the interface of this Power Query. Okay, then only it will be useful for you. Then only it will be helpful for you to understand more about this Power Query. Now, this is I'm going to this. I will take the screenshot and I will try to explain you what is called as Power. This is the Power Query editor. So this Power Query editor, the first in the Power Query editors, the first pane we call it as. So I will take yeah, right. Yeah. So in the Power Query, whatever the tables are there, what are the tables that will be that you will load? So that will be present over here. So this part of this Power Query, we call it as query pane. The what is meant by query pane? This we call it as Power Query pane. So what is meant by Power Query pane means here whatever the queries are nothing but tables. What are the tables that we loaded in the Power BI? They will call it as query pane. Okay. So what are orders table, people table. So that will be loaded, will be represented over here, the tables. In the Power BI, we call it as query pane over here. Okay. Now in the Power BI, in the Power Query, when you look at this option over here, we have different type of menu based options are there. With the help of this different menu based option, you will able to transform your data. So this pane we call it as ribbon pane. This pane we call it as ribbon pane, or some people we call it as Power Query ribbon. Some people are calling it as Power Query ribbon. And whatever the data, suppose if you click on this order table, so in the central, see it is order table is highlighted. In the central, the data which is related to the order table, it will be represented over in this central part. The data which is present in the order table, it is displayed over here. That means this central pane we call it as results pane, or we can call it as body pane. Okay, results pane or body pane. That means the data which is present in the table, it will be displayed over here. That's why the results which are present in the order table will be disclosed over here, that we call it as uh, this results pane. Okay. And next one, it is called whatever the steps that we record that will be recorded over here. This we call it as query setting pane. This I will write the terminology, but understand this. This we call it as this we call it as query pane. Okay. This is called query pane. This central part we call it as query pane. And this whatever the applied steps, what are the changes that you make in the tables that will be recorded over here. This pane we call it as query settings pane. Okay, query settings, QSP, query setting pane. So here the central part, whatever the in the table, the data will be displayed over here. This pane we call it as results pane, RS, results pane, or some people we call it as data pane. See, DP or data pane. Okay, and there are different types of options which are there in the Power Query. This we call it as, some people, this all this menu based option, this central pane from here to here, this is we have represented, right? This they are calling this as RP, ribbon pane. This we call it as ribbon pane. So other pane, some people are calling, instead of ribbon pane, they are calling them as Power Query ribbon, Power Query ribbon. And there is one option which is present over here. So whatever the changes that you make, that changes will be recorded in the form of formula over here. This formula over here, this the central part where the formula is recorded. For every step you perform menu based, but the backend it will write some formula. This formula, this pane we call it as formula pane, FP, formula pane. No, this we call it as formula pane. Now let me understand. Let us write over here. I will write in a let us take an Excel, and you can write over here. So what is called, what we have discussed in the Power Query interface. Power Query interface. In the Power Query interface, the first one we call it as query pane. Okay, query pane. So what is the query pane? That when you open the Power BI desktop, what are the tables that we loaded over here? Queries are nothing but the tables. The tables you can present over here. This area we call it as query pane. Second one, so whatever the data, suppose if I click on people, the data which the people will be displayed over here. When you click on returns, the data related to the returns will be displayed here. That's why this central part, the displayed second part, we call it as results pane. We call it as results pane, or we can call it as or some people are calling as or data pane. Okay, and third one, there is a third option which will be present over here. I have discussed here. This is called applied steps. So whatever the changes, suppose in the orders table, this is the, suppose I will make a some small changes. Okay, this is the ship mode. All the I want to suppose this is the order date. What is the date? It has date 08/11. It is month 2016. Now somebody is asking, I want to extract only year from it. That means 2016. So that is one transformation I want to extract. So how I can extract? For this, I can go to the transform type. In the transform tab, there is an option called as date. This is the date. From the data, I will go to year. Okay, when I click on year, in this particular order date, year will be extracted. So I click on go and click on year. See, automatically the year is extracted. So you have made some transformation, right? Whatever the transformation that you make in the Power Query, see, it will be recorded over here, extracted here. That means from the order date, you have extracted here. So if that is called apply steps. Whatever the transformation you make in the Power Query, that the transformation will be recorded in the applied steps. So this we call it as query settings pane. So setting options will be there, right? So this options we call it as, this option we call it as query settings pane. Yeah. Third one, we call it as query settings pane. And the fourth one, there are different type of the options are there. With that options, we can able to see in the home tab, we have different type of these options. Okay. When you go to the transform tab, you have different type of options. In the add column, you have different type of option. With the help of these options only, you will try to transform the data. So this option, this pane, we call it as ribbon pane. In the home, you have different type of menu-based option. In the transform type, you have this menu-based option. These options, we call it as ribbon pane. We call it as ribbon pane, or we can call it as Power Query ribbon. Okay, that is the thing. Now, the last option, next, there is other option called as formula pane. See, this is called as form. So whatever the extracted whatever you create, whatever the transformation you will create, automatically a formula will be written at the back end. Okay, this is called as formula pane. This central part we call it as formula pane. So the fifth one we call it as formula pane. And the formula that will be this, the formula is written in some language, specific language. The language used in the Power Query, we call it as mashup language, or we can call it as M language. In the formula pane, the language used is mashup language. They will ask in the interview, what is the language which is used in Power Query? That language we call it as mashup language, or simply we can call it as M language. Okay, query pane means this is the tables where recorded query pane, and results pane mean this central pane we call it as results pane, and query settings pane, whatever the records that you will steps you have recorded, you perform, that steps will be recorded in the applied steps. And ribbon pane means what are the different type of the ribbons options are there, we call it as ribbon pane, or some people we call it as Power Query ribbon, and this is called as formula pane. So in order to understand anything, first you need to understand that interface, what is the option that once, then it will be easy for you. Now let us make some basic transformation of this power. And one more thing, from the power, whatever the changes that you make, you have extracted the year. In order to save the changes, these changes you perform, but in order to change the changes, you need to click on close and apply only. Then only the changes will be saved. When you click on close and apply, you will go back to your Power BI desktop. From there, again, you need to come here, right? You need to click on transform data. From there, you will click over here. So I will explain. Some people will be confusing. Sir, how I can Power BI desktop? How you are coming to Power Query? From Power Query, how you are going to Power BI desktop? There is nothing to confuse. Once you make any changes, you need to click on close and apply. Once you click on close and apply, see the changes will be saved. Okay, the changes will be saved, and you can go to the Power BI desktop over. You will go to Power BI desktop. Now Power BI, from the Power BI desktop means this is the normal interface. From the Power BI desktop, again you want to go to Power Query. You need to Power Query useful for transforming your data. So you need to click on this transform data. In the transform data, you will click, again you will come to Power Query. Okay, this is the step. From here, if you click close and apply, you go there. From there, if you click on transform data, you will come here. So this is how you will be switched between Power BI desktop and Power Query. Here, after transforming your data, don't try to click on, you need to click on close and apply only. Then only whatever the changes that you perform, it will be saved in a Power Query. Okay, so this is one of the things that we have notified over here. Now let us make some transformation and how this transformation will be helpful for you. So let us able to understand, perform some changes. Okay, so I will give a small requirement. So how this Power Query will be helpful for you. So let us choose with so in the orders table, I will try to explain some with start with some basic concept, and then we can able to understand how this Power Query will be helpful for you. Now, first I want to see, I want to explain you. There are, suppose this is the data. Suppose you have country data. Okay, you have city, you have state. So country data is present in separate column, city is present in separate column, and state is present in separate column. In three different columns are there. Now your client is asking, can you bring the data which is present in the three different column and bring the data which is present in the three different column into a single column? And after that, each column, that means after United States, I need to get comma. After Anderson, I need to get comma. and I need to get this United States, Henderson, Kentucky, which are present in three different columns, country, state, and city. I want to bring that into a single column. Okay, that is the requirement. Now, how you can make that in the Power Query? Okay, so countries, city, state should come in one column. So in order to achieve this transformation, the first step that you need to understand here is first what are the columns that you want to merge. So you need to click on the control button, click on country, click on city, and click on state. So these three are selected. Now you want to merge this data which is present in three different column into a single column, right? So select this, click on merge columns. Once you click on the merge column, it will ask you. So all these three columns, it will come and it will come into a single column. But if you want to add any separator, that means after United States, if you want to comma, Henderson comma, you want comma or you want space or you want semicolon, it is asking. So what is the separator you want? So open the drop down. I want comma. So that means each after every country comma, Henderson city comma, you need to get that comma. And it is asking, so all these three columns which are present in three different will become in one column only. It will perform, but it is asking whether you want to give any new column name. So if you want to give any new column to the single column that we are going to merge, three different column. So I want to give it as address column. Country, city, and state. This should be clubbed into a one column. I want to name that column as address. So now you can click on address address. Okay, and click on OK. Once you click on OK, you see Kentucky, United States, Anderson. So these three are present in the state, country, city, state, which are present in three different places. Now it will merged into a single column. Okay, and the column name we have named as address. And after each and every column, you have got the comma. So you have performed this step, okay, by using the Power Query. As as I already said, whatever the transformation that you make, that transformation will be captured in a place called as applied step. See, it is merged columns. If you want to see how you have merged, there is one option called as gear icon. Once you click on gear icon, you can see there are merge how to merge in between the selected each column you have kept the comma and the new column name is address. Okay, that it has created. Okay, this is how a simple transformation that we have made. So in order to, after completing this, if you want to save this transformation, where you will go? You go to the home tab, you need to click on close and apply, that you will see, it will be saved. Okay, but you can click on close and apply. Once your all transformations are done, then at the end you click on close and apply. It is not mandated that you make transformation, close and apply, you will come back again. Whatever the transformation you want to make it. But finally, if you want to save the transformation, you will go and click on close and apply. So this is the one of the transformation that I have explained you. Now, not only this, and one more, some example, some as of now, as a first class, I am giving some examples so that it will be helpful for you. Now, what I will do. So one more thing you can ask me, sir, you have made the address column. Now I want to go one step back. So you have made this column, right? I want to go the step back. That means from previous step, if I want to go, just you can click on cross button. You will go back to the previous step. So country, state, city, which are there in the separate, that you go to one step back. You have extracted the year, right? So previously you have extracted from this order date, you have extracted year. So I want to go back to the step. So if you want to one step back, you need to close. So order date, you will have date year. Okay, like that. If you want to go one step back, you can click on the cross button. Okay. Now I will explain you some of the changes. There will be, suppose if in the transform tab over here, I'm selecting the order data. So if I want to, I will go to the date column, date column. If I extract the year, that it will extract the year name. Okay. Now what I will do, instead of the year, if I select the start of year, what I will get? So if I click on the start of year, what is the first data in that particular year you will get? In every column, what is the start? So if I click on start of the year, That means in that particular year, it may be 2016, 2014, 2017, 18. What is the first date which will be in the that particular year you will get? So it may be 2016 or 2014, 2015. That year will start from which date? January 1st, 2014. 2015 will start from 01 2015 2015. That means that is the what is the first date of that particular year. If you want to extract in that particular column, you can go to the date column and you can extract the start of the year. And in the same way, if you go here and you click on end of year, when you click on end of year, what is the last date in that particular year you will get? So definitely what is the last date in a particular year? December 31st. You may take 2014, 15, 16, 17. The last date will be the end of the year will be December 31st. So when I click on to last date, see the what is the last date? 31/12/2016. For 2015, 31/12/2015. For 2014, 31/12/2014. So that is the last data. If you want to go extract the last date here, last data, what is the end data? You can go here and you can click on end of year. Okay. Now you can come to the month in the month. So from this order data, so I want to from this order data, I need to click on month. So I want to extract the month. So if I want to go one step back, how you can go? Calculate end of year, you can go the one step back. If you go click on here, you can go one step back like this. Now my requirement is I am coming to this instead of year, I will try to go to the month. If I want extract the month, what is meant by if we extract the month? So in this order data, the first two column will be day, 11 will be month, 2016 year. For all this data, the middle month 11, 11, 6, 10, this will be appear when you extract the month from here. Age, month, month, you will extract, try to extract the month. See, 11, that means November, June, 6, that month will be extracted. So I have said, whatever the transformation that you make, those transformation will be recorded in the applied step. See, it has extracted the month. From the order date, it has extracted the month. So like that, you can extract the month over here. And if you go to one step back, you can click on this cross button, then you can go to one step back over here. Now, if I click on this order date, I'm going to month and I want to click on start of month. What is meant by start of month? So what is the first date of that particular month you will get? So any month will be start from January 1st, right? So that is the first date of that month. That means the calendar, the first date will be the start of the month. So when you click on the start of the month, for the November, it will start from November 1st. For June, June 1st. For October, October 1st. That means 11 month, all this month, what is the first day of that month? The first day of the month will be the starting day. So why this will be useful, right? In order date and ship data. So what is that? Suppose you have ordered one product on one, and if a product is shipped on 11th, so 111, if you want to find the difference, ship date minus order date, you can find how much time it has taken to ship that product. So such a type of to perform that calculation, it will be helpful for you. What is the start date of month? Okay, so suppose if you want to calculate from two dates, suppose 15 days are completed, how many days are left? So in that condition, you need to know what is the start date. Okay, in performing in the future, in performing the calculation, what is the use of using start of the day, that will be helpful for you in when you once you take some project and you work on in the lifetime project. So as of now, you can understand so how you can calculate the start of that month. In order to find the start of the month, you can see click on end of the month. So in this particular month, what is the end of the what is the end of the month? So that suppose some months will be having 31 days, some month will be having 30 days. Suppose December we have 31 days. Suppose June we have 30 days. So if you want to find in the month end of, if you click on end of the month, you can see November we have 30 days only. June 36 means June's we have 30 days. But 10 October we have 31 days. Okay. And again June 36 we have 30 days. That means what is the last day you are getting? But 8 August we have 31 days. So this will be helpful for calculating the end of month. That means what is the last date if in that particular month, if you want to find that if you want to go one step back, you can go here. You can click on the date, you can click of the month, you can go to the end of the month. And in this particular month, how many days are there? Some month will have 30 days, some month will have 31 days. Some people, if suddenly ask in the November, it has 30 days. Some people will able to find how many days. They'll confuse whether that month has 30 days, whether that month has 31 days, whether that month has 28 days. So if you want to find that particular days in a month, you can click on the date. You can go to the date column. In the date column, you have month. You can click on days in a month. So you can see in this particular data, suppose in the November, it has 30 days. So if you want one more thing is there is same options which are there in the add column. There, if you want to see, if you want to view this column over here, and if you want to duplicate this column, you can directly click on this column. You can click on duplicate column. So once you click on the duplicate column, so the column will be duplicated. Okay. Where is order date? This is the order date. So when you duplicate the column, that column will be go and order date duplicate. It will settle at the end of the column. Okay. Now my requirement is I want to move this order date to one step right. One step right means there is an option called as move. Right means it will go from order date to ship date. It will move from ship date. One step right, it will move. So now I am clicking on right. So after ship date, it will move. If you click on left from here, it will from ship date to here before the order, it will go somewhat left. See move, I will go to left. That means before the it move to the ship date. Right means after the ship date, it will come. It move to the right means it will go one step right. See after the ship date. Left means it will go one step left. And there is, if you want to move to the beginning, the order date which is there over here, if you want to bring before row ID to the beginning at the starting point, you can select this order date, go to the beginning. That means the table will start from this order date. Now you can ask me from this, which is the beginning, this order date, it will should go and it should go at the last, at the end. How you can go, click on the order date, move, and to the end you can go. So your order ready, move to the end. Okay, like this, you can move the columns. Right. So if you want to move the columns, and one more thing also, if you move the row ID, if you want to bring after customer ID, so for every time you need to go and select right, one step right. Again, from here, you can go to the one step right. So it will take a lot of time, row ID. So if you, instead of that, if you want to bring the row ID directly after the segment, you can select this and you can drag. You can like this drag and you can leave it after the segment directly. See after segment, if you drop over here and directly after segment, it will come. So I want to bring the row ID after this region. So how we can select? You can select this tag and just from the cursor, you will try to drag it. Drag if I want after the region. So after the region, there is the column you need to keep here and you to release it. So after the region, it will come. So that is the drag and drop option. So I have reordered the column, right? For every step, it will create C1, it will create reorder the column. That means you have moved the column from one place to another place. That every step that you perform, it will be recorded in the applied steps. Okay. One more thing in the order date, what I have saved, where we have stopped in the date column. Suppose in the date column, see month. In the month, I have selected days in a month. So see in this November, we have 30 days. See November, 30 days. October, you have 31st days. So June, we have 30 days. April, we have 30 days. By December, we have 31 days. Okay. So in the particular month, how many days are there that if you want to find from that in the date column, you can extract that. Okay. And if you want to go back to the step, you can come here, you can go step back. So in the order date, you can select the data. In the month also, name of the month. Suppose some 11 it is there. So I will explain you. See this thing. 11, 11, 10, 6, 6, 4. I don't want the month names. Just if you extract the month here, if you extract the month, that this month, it is giving the names over here 11, 11, 11. But I don't want this month. I want the month name. Instead of 11, I need to get November. Instead of 6, I need to get June. Instead of 10, I need to get October. Like that, I need to get. So go back to the step. How I can get? I can select the order date. Okay, select the date column. In the month, you can select the name of the month. Once you select the name of month, see November, November, 6th June, 10 October, 6th June, okay, 4 April, 12 December, 11 November, November, 5 May, 8th August, 8th August, 12 December, 7 July, 9 September, 1 January. Like this you will get. Okay. That is a different type of the option that we have seen. We have seen that means if you want to go one step back, you can select over here. Like this, you can select the order name. In the date, you can select this year. What is the year, start of the year, end of year, month, start of the month, end of the month, days of the month, name of the month. Now we can discuss the quarter. Okay, quarter of the year. Quarter of the year, start of the quarter, and end of the quarter. So this is how to extract the quarter name. So what are the quarters? If you go to here, what notepad, you need to understand how many quarters are there for particular. So for 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 every year we have 3 quarters. For every year we have 3 quarters. So what are the quarters we have? The first one, first every 3 months there will be quarter. First January to March, that we call it as quarter one. Second, from April, May, June. April to June, we call it as quarter two. Third one, July to September, that we call it as quarter three. Fourth one, October to December, October, November, December. October to December, we call it as quarter. So these are the four. Actually, in a year we have 12 months, right? These 12 months will be divided into 12 months will be divided into 4 quarters, and each quarter will have 3 months. Yeah, quarter one means Jan to March, quarter two April to June, quarter three means July to September, quarter four is October to November. So this is the general, the basic that we will follow, and most of the people will know already. But few people if have any confusion, but this is the basic thing. So if you want no, that means quarter two means you need to come. It will start from April to end with June. Quarter three means the starting of quarter three is July and ends with September. Quarter four, the starting month will be October, end with the December. So every quarter, first quarter starts with Jan, second quarter started with April, third quarter starts with July, and fourth quarter started with will be October. And if this information will be, if you understand this information, now you understand this transformation easily. So that is the reason that I have put it over there. See, now we extract the date. In the extract quarter, I want to extract the quarter of year. That means this November of this date is falling on which quarter, that it will give the quarter name. Extract the quarter of year. See, this November, it will extract. Suppose if I click on quarter one. See, whatever the Jan, February, March, Jan month, February month, March month. These are first 3 quarter, like all that 3 dates will become as quarter one. Okay, because you know the quarter one is Jan to March. If you see that I have duplicated this table so that you can use it to compare for you. So all the dates will be Jan, February, March only. January, February, March. See, 1, 2, 3. Now if I extract over here quarter two. Quarter two. Quarter starts from April, May, June, right? 4, 5, 6 months data will be there. See, fourth month, fifth month, fourth April month, fifth May month, see, sixth June month. So that means I've extracted the quarter two. So from this order date, if you click on quarter, this date is falling on which quarter if you want to find, then you can go for quarter of a month. Now, if you select instead of the quarter two, if I extract the quarter three over here, right? So this is the quarter three. Quarter three starts from July, August, September. July means seventh month, eighth month, ninth month. Okay, 7, 8, 9 you will get over here. See, you can find over here seventh month, eighth month, and you can find the ninth month. Seven, whatever you can see, 7, 8, 9 only will be there. Now, if you extract the quarter four, that means October, November, December, 10, 11, 12 month data will be see. Here you can see 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, and 12. Those data you will be able to find. So this is how you can extract the quarter from here. Now, if you want to clear the filters, how you can apply clear the filters, you can click on this button. You can click on this clear filter. Once you click on the clear the filter in this particular column will be removed. So that is called as to extract the quarter of a year. And if you go on to one step back, you can click on cross button, then you will be going to one step back. So this is how you can able to understand over here. Now, one more thing, the date column, you have extracted the date column, quarter of the year, start of the quarter. Now, quarter of the year you extracted. Start of the quarter, if you give, start of the quarter means this is what is the first date in that particular quarter you will get over here. Suppose November 8th is the 8th date, right? Start of the quarter means suppose the November, what is the start of that quarter? In the that means November 11, 2016. So November will fall in which quarter? October, November, December. This right? Quarter four. So what is the first date of that quarter? That quarter name will be coming over here. So if you see now, I will explain you so that it will be easy. So quarter, I will click on start of the quarter. Once you click on the start of the quarter, you can see 8/11/2016. For that, you have given the start of the quarter. So 8/11 means November, right? So November falls on which quarter? So you need to go to the word pad here. See November, October, November, December. That will on the quarter four. So in the quarter four, that is starts from which month? October month. So what is the start date of that quarter? October 1st is the start date. You can go here. See, October 1st is the start date. Like that, it will try to start. Now you can take any random date. 16/7/2017. 16/7/2000 means 16/7 is which month? June month. June month will start from which quarter? Second quarter. Third quarter. January, February, March, first quarter. April, May, June, second quarter. July, September, third quarter. See, seventh means July. You can see this is the seventh one, July. It comes under the start. Start of the quarter means in the July, what is the start date? That date you will get. So in the July 1st is the start date, right? So when you go to the Power BI desktop, you can see for that July 16th, where is July? The start date is 1st July 2017. So because we have calculated the start of the quarter. So like that, you can able to create the start of the quarter. You can find the start of the quarter. If you want to click on close, you can click. Again, in the date column, see in the quarter, if you want to see end of the quarter, that means for this particular quarter, what is the end date? Let us pick up random date. So 8th November 2016, November, which falls in which quarter? It falls in the fourth quarter, right? You can see October to December, fourth quarter, fourth quarter. So in this quarter, what is the end of the quarter? So what is the end month of this quarter? December. In the December, what is the end date? December 31st. Now that December 31st you will get here. And you can pick up any random date. 26, 2016. 26th means June. Okay, June. So June will fall June month, right? Okay, this is the June 26 means June. So June means which month? It will fall on which quarter? Second quarter, right? April to June 2nd. So end of the quarter means in the quarter to end month is June. What is the last date of the June? June 30 is the last date, right? So you can see that the June 30 will be coming over here. That is called as end of the quarter. In a particular quarter, in this particular date, what is the end quarter and what is the end quarter and what is the end date you will be getting to calculate the end of the quarter. You can select any one of the date over here. Suppose you can select over here this. Suppose you can select anyone. November. November already we have seen. Suppose you must seen this is August. See August 29 August. 29th August means August will falls on which quarter? You need to see August. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, quarter three. So quarter three. End of the quarter means in this quarter three, what is the end? End month September. For the September, what is the end date? September 30. So for that, you will get the September 30, where it will find 20. See, for 2098, the September 30 is the end date of that particular quarter. So like that, you can able to calculate the start of the quarter, end of the quarter. So those type of the options will be helpful in the Power Query. So in order to write this end of the quarter, start of the quarter, if you want to this, you will write a very complex formula. In case of SQL or in other programming language, you will write some lengthy formula. But in this, whatever see for everything, it will try to write back and it is writing formula. You are just playing with menu based option. Back end, it is writing some code for yourself. Power Query itself writing the code in the type of M language. If you want to find the end of the quarter, start of the quarter, if you want to extract the month, if you want to extract the year, if you want to extract the quarter in another languages, you need to write some lengthy programs. But here, just you need to have some knowledge on English. So what is the quarter? What is the quarter name? What is the start of the quarter? What is the end of the quarter? If you are able to understand that terminology, then accordingly you can understand the data. And week also in the week also, if we extract this data, so I will go to one step back. In this order data, I will go to the date column. I will go to the week of a year I extract. So this 8th November is falling on which week? That means it will fall on 53rd week. So how many, like in November to December, suppose in a year, think that there are 57, 58 weeks. So this in a year, it contains suppose 56 or 54 or 55 weeks. And if you want to find 8th 11 is fall on which week? Okay, we have 365 days. 365 days by 7. At most, you will get 50 or 57. And with this date is falling on which week? That means 53rd week of that particular year, this date is falling. So that way, that is called as week of year. Okay. In a week, if you give the calculator, suppose if you open the calculator over here, generally we have 365 days, right? 3, 6, 5, 365 days in a calendar. By each week has 7 days. Okay, how many weeks generally we have? 52 weeks generally we have in that particular card. 365 days by 7. So 360 in each 360 by 7, it will give 52. Why it is coming as 53rd week? 50, that particular day will have 53rd weeks. Because that date in that particular calendar, that date may fall on. Suppose if you go to the calendar also, which one? November calendar. So November from January 1st to, because January 1st is falling on which week we don't know. Okay, which week it is falling on which week don't know in the calendar year. Based upon that, the week's name will be changed. But as of now, when you look at here, 8th November 2016, open the calendar. Okay, open the calendar of 2016. Go and fetch the November 8th. Definitely that will be fall on 53rd week of that particular year. Okay, so if you want to find on which week that date is falling, so that week number, if you want to find, you can go for the week of the month. Okay, that you can, if you want to check the calendar of 2016, definitely this 8th November 2016 will 100% will fall on 53rd week of that calendar. Okay, if you want to remove this all, you can remove. Now order date. Now we stack the week of that month. Generally week of month. That means now not year, that month. Suppose November 8th. In 8th November is falling on which week? Suppose I am opening the calendar. I'm opening the calendar over here, which is the year November 2016, right? Now let us go to the Google and let us open November 2016 calendar. If you give directly, the Google will be giving that November 2016 calendar. Now I'm opening. Now November 8th. November 8th. So every week in a calendar will start from Sunday. Will start from Sunday and ends with Saturday. So this is the normal criteria of the calendar. November 8th. See, this is the November 8th. So this is the first week of the November. First week of the November starts from 1st to 5th. Second week of November starts from 6th to 12th. So between 8th, you are saying this 8th, it is falling on second week of the November, right? Now, same you will be getting over here. This November 8th is falling on second week. Similarly, if you want to check 22nd, in the 2016 also, if you want to select, if you find when November is there, 8th November 2016. Suppose you can select C, any random dates. October 2014, it is fourth week. October 2014, it is falling on fourth week. October 10, 20, 2014. So October 2014 calendar will check. October 2014, 2014 calendar. Yeah, October 2014 calendar. So the October 2000 calendar, it has 14. Now if you want to find, so October 2014, where, yeah, October 2014, if you want to find in October 2014, 20, October 20, it is falling on fourth week, right? It is falling on fourth week. So go to the October 20. So October 20 is over here. So here, this is the first week. This is the second week. This is the third week. October 20 is the fourth week. So you can see the October 20, it is falling on fourth week. So this is we call as calc. If you give any date, if somebody asking in a week, in a particular month, that in which week that particular date is falling, if you want to find, you can directly go and calculate the week of the month. If you select the cancel, if you want to cancel it, two and yeah. If you can go to the data and you can calculate the week of that particular month. Start of the week. So that week will start from which data it will give. Okay. If I select this, go to the date column and we can click on start of where is week, the week, and we click the start of the week. So that week starts from this 8th is there, right? 8th November 2016. So that in that 8th November, what is the start date of week? So that week starts from 6th. Already you can see over here. If you go to which calendar did we go to? See November. See 8th, it is falling on second week, right? But in this week, what is the start of that week? November 6th. You can see over here. November 6th. Actually, November 8 is there, but what is the start of week? The start of that week is starting from 6th November. You can able to see. See November 8th in the second week. What is the start of the week? The starting day of that week is November 6th. So like that also you can able to get the data. Okay. In the data, you can see in the week also. I will try to delete this again. I will try to delete this and I will go to the date column. Instead of week, end of the week. If you calculate the end of the week. So 8th is falling on the second week, right? So what is the end of the week? 12th is the end of the week. You can go and check. See 8th is second. It is falling the second week. Suppose 8th it is in the second week, you have no. But what is the start of the week is? It starts from 6th. What is the end of the ended start day of the week is 6th. End day of the week is 12th. That means in the second week is starting from 6th start of the week and end week. For this particular day, for November 8th, 2016, for this particular day, November 6th is the start of the week. November 12th is the end of the week. And November 8th is following on the second week of November 2016. So like that, that type of the information you can get by using a single menu based option in the Power Query. Okay, week of the month, end of the week, day. Now you can select the day means suppose if you go, if you delete this, calculate end of the month, I have deleted it. Now you can go to the date column. In the date column, I click on the day. Once you click on the day, from this 8/11/2016, this is DD date. This 1/1 will be the month. 2016 will be year. If I extracted the day, that means the starting day of this day. That means order date you have got 8th, 12th, 11th, 9th. The day you are able to get extract. That is called as day of the month. So see extracted. See whatever the steps that you perform in the Power Query, that the steps are recorded in the applied steps. That steps will be recorded in the applied steps. Okay. Now we can close it. In the orders deck, suppose in the day. Now you can extract a day of a week. Okay. If you go to the day of the week, in this particular week, if you select the day of the week, on that particular week, this November 8th is falling on which day? Day 1 or day 2 or day 3. So November 8th, it is falling on day 2. You will go and check to the calendar over here. See, yeah, order a day. So what we have selected in the day. Yeah, in the day of a week. So if you want to select any order date, suppose November 2016, I want to extract in the day and in the day of a week, in the particular day of the week, in which day it is following. So it will start from this first day in this order date. It will consider as 0, 1, 2. So the first data when I go over here, the first it is yeah. The first day we call it as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will the first date will consider as 0. Then it will consider as 1. It will consider as 2. So November 8th, it is falling on second day of that week. So the first day it will consider as 0. Second, it will consider as 1. Third, it will consider as 2. That's why you can see here 0, 1, 2. Okay. But what is the date it will consider? So 8th November, it will start. The first it will consider as 0. Then second, in this particular with second day, in this particular month, it will consider as a third day. Okay. Because we think that Monday will become the starting day, right? It will start from as a calendar year will start from Monday will be the first day. So that's why for Sunday it will assign 0. And for Monday, it is every for first day of this month will for this week you will consider Monday as a first day, right? Tuesday as a second day, third day as in the week you will consider as a Monday. But here will Sunday will consider as 0, 7 Monday as first one, 8th it will consider as second day. The 8th it is a second day of the week, so it is called second day or data in this second day. Calculate day of the week and that particular day it is the second day of that particular week. Okay, like that also you can able to calculate. In this particular order data, in the day column, if you extracted the day of a year, so out of 365 days, November 8th, 2016, it is the 330th day. 330. So you have 365 days, right? In the 365 days, this November 8th, 2016 is the 313th day of that particular year. So the calculated day of a year you can extract by using this. So this calculation is useful, but in some calculation in a year, how many days are left? Suppose you have done for some taken away low, and in the year, if you want to extract how many days are left in a year. So in that condition, this calculating day of year will be helpful for you for doing some calculation in the DAX during the time diligence function, and each and every operation that you are performing, it will have some use case scenario that you will understanding in the coming classes where we'll work on the time diligence function while dealing with the Power Pivot. Okay. So in order to perform the type of the calculation, so within the single data, you can able to perform this many type of operation. So this year it should be there in your mind so that you can perform the operation very better. In the date column again, in the day of the year, in the day start of the day. So start of the day means very simple. That means every day it will be start in particular day. If you give the start of the day, what is the day? It will start from the particular data. So it will be easy that the particular start of the day it will give. So it will not have that much use case. So a day will be that day will be the start of day for particular thing. So calculated start of the day. So it will not have that much use case. So you can not able to consider this the particular start of the day, and you can go for the, but this is very important. What is the which important is name of the day. That means November 8th 2016 is there. So that means November 8th, whether it is falling on Wednesday, whether it is falling on Thursday, whether it is falling on Friday, that is very important. So you can see in the day, you can click off the name of the day. So 8th November, it is falling on Tuesday. If you go and check the calendar also in the Google, November 8th will be Tuesday. Okay. And I open the Google and you can see November 8th, right? So November 8th, it is falling on Tuesday. November 9th, it is falling on Wednesday. November 10th, it is falling on Thursday. So if you want to extract in particular day, if you want to find with the single date option, so that if I click on this, with the one order date, by using single menu based option, you can able to understand these many concepts. Year, in the year, start of the year, end of the year. In the month, we can see month, start of the month, end of the month, date of the month, name of the month, days in the month. In quarter of the year, start of the quarter, end of the quarter, we have seen. In week of year, week of month, start of week, end of week. In the day of the week, day of the year, and name of the day. Okay, so these type of menu-based options are self-speaking, where you can understand by using the Power Query. So we have seen how to implement the merge columns. And there is another option also. There are few options that you can, we have seen how to move the columns from right to left. Okay, now let us see some more example. Choose columns. What is meant by choose column? So what is meant by choose column actually? So in the real-time data, you have some hundreds of the columns will be loaded. Hundreds of the columns will be there. Okay, in the real time, you have some one, two, three, many columns are there. In that, if you want, you are thinking that only the first three columns will be useful for your analysis. First three columns are used for analysis. Then you can click on this choose columns. Once you click on the choose columns, whatever the order in their column, and that order will be present. First order ID, it will order ID. Then ship ID, it will be there. Okay, those order will be present over here. Now somebody asking to go to the region. So in that condition, you need to go and search for region. So it will take a lot of time. So here we have only 10 columns. It is not taking that much time. Assume that if you have a lot of columns, that means hundreds of the columns. So then how you will able to find that columns over here? So in that condition, if the columns are not there in an organized format, you need to click on A to Z. Then these are in the natural order. These are in the natural order. So I want to put them, I need to click on the name. This will be came into alphabetic order. Okay, C, D, E, F. This will be present coming in the alphabetic order. Okay, now this will be arranged in the alphabetic order. Now, if there somebody asking to go for region, if you want to select the region column, directly you can go and click on this region. Okay, the region column you need to go. If you go want to click on the sales column, you can go directly to sales. Based upon alphabetic order, it will be created. So it will be easy for a person to go and fetch it. Now, if you don't know, even if the C, there are a lot of columns are there, 100. In that condition, in the search column, you can type it as CATY. You can go to the city. And if I click on region, REGION, you will directly go to the region. If I click on sales, SALES, you can go to the sales column. Okay, that. Now, what is the options of this choose column? When you go and select this choose column, think there are this much of the columns are there, but in the real time for my analysis, I don't want all the columns. I want only three columns which is required for my analysis. Order date, ship date, this first four columns are necessary for me. I don't want other columns to be present in the table. So in this condition, you can go to the choose column. You can select all means all will select. You can remove this. If you want only order ID, ship mode, customer ID, and if you select this, those columns will only present over here. Remaining all columns will be deleted. If you click on OK, see. See, whatever the column that you have chosen, that columns will be appear in the table and remaining all columns will be deleted. That is the option called as choose columns. Okay. In the choose columns also, what we have done in the choose columns, in order to get the natural order, you need to click on. If you want to select again all, you can select all. When you click on OK, now all columns will be appear over here. And if you want to choose only specific column, you need to go to the choose columns. Okay. Now this is not in the natural order. You can click on A to Z. Natural order is not required. I want to name means they will be coming in the alphabetic order. Now, if you want to choose only category, city, country, or customer name, this only I want only display. This 5 columns I want. Select that columns, click on OK. These 5 columns will appear and all the columns will be removed. You can click on OK. See remaining column, these 5 columns only remain. So that is called, see, removed other columns. That means only selected columns will be there and other columns will be removed. So if you want to go one step back, you can go here and you click on remove. Again, you can go to the one step back. So that is the option called as choose column. And what is meant by go to column? Go to column is now you are in the order ID. I want to go to the region. What I will do? I will search like this, and I will go. Where is the region? See, here is the region. It is taking some time. I want to go to the from here sales. I will search here and I will search sales, region, row ID, category, subcategory, sale. So it is taking time. So here we have 10 or 20 tables. It has taken less time. What happens if it contains hundreds of the tables? You cannot go and search and table, read and each and every table, right? So in that case, it will take a lot of time for you. In that condition, what you will do, you can go to in the choose column, you will click on go to columns. In the go to columns, again, you can see, you click on natural order, right? You can click on name. Okay, you can click on name. Name means they'll be searched according to the alphabetic order. Now, if I want to go to the sales column, I will come to the alphabetic order of sales. Yes. If I click on sales and click on OK, directly I came to sales. Okay. Now in the go to column, in the choose column, I will go to the go to columns. I will again here also, it is not in the alphabetic order. So try to click on name. It is comes in the alphabetic order. Now I want to go to the region. So IMNOPQR. Click on region. Okay. Now my cursor will move to region. So it will easily within one step that you will go to the area where you want to go and search that column. That will helps you to go for go to column. Okay. Choose columns. Choose means what are the columns you want to choose that you can get. Go to column. That means you can go to that particular column in the table. Now another requirement. So I will, there is another option called as remove columns also. What is meant by remove columns? If you select any one of the column, I select the region column, keep on the control row ID, and I click on this product ID. First 3 columns, suppose from here, I will select order ID, ship date, ship mode. Order ID, click on the control button, click on ship mode and ship mode. This 3 I have selected. Okay. How you can set multiple columns? Click on first column, click on the control and select other and go to remove columns. In the remove columns, if you click on remove columns, only the selected column will remove. What are the selected columns? Order ID, ship mode. These 3 will be deleted and your table will start from customer ID. When I click on remove columns, click on the remove column. See, it will start from customer ID and first 3 columns are removed. Okay, like that you will able to see. If you go to want to go one step back, you can click on removed columns. Again, you came here. Now, there is another option called as removed other columns. What is meant by removed other columns? That means I have selected order ID, ship date, ship mode. These 3 I have selected. Now what I will do, I will go to the remove and click on remove other columns. When I click on remove other columns, the selected columns will remain, and apart from the selected columns, all other columns will get deleted. That is called as remove other columns. Okay. Remove columns means Whatever the columns you select, that columns will delete. Remaining all columns will be there as it is. But if I select remove other, if you select some columns, click on remove other columns, the selected columns, the selected columns will only remove, all other column, the selected columns only remain, and all other columns will be deleted. So if I selected this and you click on remove other columns, in the table order ID, ship ID, ship mode, this will only remain and all other columns will get deleted. See if you want to see that remove other column. See only order ID, ship mode, this three will remain, selected columns will remain, and whatever the columns that you are not selected, that columns will be deleted from your table. That is called as remove other columns. In the interview, they will ask what is the difference between remove columns and remove other columns. Remove column means if you select some column and click on remove, that columns will get removed. If you select some columns and click on remove other columns, except that columns, all the columns will be removed. What is called as remove other columns. So that is the type of the transformation that you will understand. They will ask what is the difference between choose columns and go to column. Choose column means if you select all from that, if you select some columns, that columns will only remain, other columns will be deleted. They will ask what is the go column. In the table, we have many tables. So in order to go to a specific table, if you drag, it will take a lot of time. But when you use the go column, and in this go column, if you click and select that particular option, directly you will go to that particular column. That is the use of go column. Then they will ask what is the use of this date option in the Power Query. You can say you can extract the from that you can extract the year, start of the year, end of year. You can select month, start of the quarter, end of the quarter, days of the month. Those type of the answer that in the quarter you need to extract the quarter, start of the year, quarter of the year. With the day option, I can able to understand what is the week of year, how many weeks are there in month, what is the start of the week, what is the end of the week, and from that we can extract the day of the week, day of the year, what is the name of the day. So that's such type of the option we can able to understand by using the date option. And we can see the merge operation also. We have discussed when the data is present in the three different table columns. If you want to bring that in a single table, you can go for the merge option. So whatever the steps that we recorded, you will be recorded in this the applied steps. And you can understand what is Power Query means. Power Query useful for the transformation. In the Power Query, what is the use of close and apply? Whatever the changes that you have made, if you want to save that, you need to click on the close and apply. Now the changes that we have made, it will be saved. Once you click on the close and apply, where you will go? You will go to the Power BI desktop. And they will ask on the Power BI desktop, how you will come back. There is an option called Transform tab. If you click on the Transform tab button, you will go back to the Power Query. Okay, so whatever the tables that we load, this is the Power Query ribbon. What are the different type of the options which are there in the Power Query, that also you need to be able to understand. If you want, what are the transformation you have done, where the transformation are recorded, you can say that you can record in the applied steps. So if they ask if you want to go one step back, how will go one step back? Just you click on the class button, you will can go back to the previous steps, re-added column. And how can move the column from one step right to one step left? There is an option called as move columns in the move. From the in the home button in the transform tab, there is an option called move. From this, you can go column, you can move the column one column left, one column right. You can go to the column that you can go to the beginning, move the column to the beginning, and you can move the column to the end. So those steps. And if you column between 3 or 4 times, you can select and you can directly drag the column to the specific places. Okay, and how to extract the data, we have seen to extract, how to connect to the extract the data, how to load the data, what is the report view, what is the table view, and what is the data modeling view, and those type of the topics that we have covered in the today's class. And not only this, we can discuss about some more important see we are some more important concepts, like also suppose you are in this particular order date over here. Okay, any particular date. So there is an option called keep rows, remove rows. So here I want there are how many rows are there in this particular column. If you want to find where you can find, there is an option over here. See column profiling. So we are 999 plus rows are there. But my requirement is out of these rows, I want to keep only top 10 rows, top rows. So in that condition, you can go to the keep rows, click on the top 10 rows. So how many rows you want? 10 rows I want. Just you click on 10 and OK. So out of all, only top 10 rows you are able to get it. So this is how you can work. If your client is interested, I don't want all the rows to be loaded. I want to work on only top rows, top 10 rows. There is an option called as keep rows. Okay, keep top rows. And if you want to see keep first rows, how many rows, if you want to see how many rows are kept, you can click on this gear icon. Once you click on the gray icon, see top 10 rows you have kept that you can study. If you want to delete that steps, you can delete over here. Now, if I'm over here in the keep rows, if you want not only top rows from bottom rows, last 10 rows, if you want, just you need to click on the bottom rows. It will show specify how many rows to keep in the bottom 10 I want. Just to click on 10. So these are the bottom 10 records, which are there at the last 10 records you will get. So if you want to see keep last rows, in the last 10 rows you have clicked. So that is called as keep bottom 10 rows. If you want to remove that step, you can remove it. In the keep rows, there is an option called as keep range of rows. Range of rows means how many rows. I want to keep the range of rows from 5 to 10 or something. It is 5 US 2593. It is from 5th 896. It is there, right? So or somewhere US 251089996 from here. This fourth row or some fifth row. I want to keep a 15th row. US 2015 11983. So I want that keep range of rows. In this keep, it will ask first row. I want to keep the first row from the fifth row. I want to start from this fifth row. Okay, from starting from the fifth row here, I want to keep 10 rows, number of 10 rows. So from the fifth row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it will calculate and it will kick the 10 rows. So from the fifth row, it is fifth. From fifth row, it will count 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So keep range of row. That means starting from fifth row, I want 10 rows. So that rows only want. Starting from 10th row, I want 30 rows. So it will give the 30 rows starting from that row. Starting from if I want 90 to 100, starting from 90, I want 10 rows. That means 90 to 10, 90 to 100 records, it will filter. That is called as keep range of rows. Okay. Like that also you can able to understand. So if you want to delete, you can delete over. In the same way, in the keep rows, there is called keep duplicates. Suppose if you have the data, in this data, there are a lot of duplicates are there. So if you want to keep on the keep only duplicates data will be whatever the duplicates there, 516886, only duplicates will be removed over here. And non-duplicate values which are present only one time are unique records, own distinct records. That distinct records will be removed. Only the values which are present one or twice. See, if I want to is present twice, it is there. It is present two times. It is present 5 times, 6 times. It is present 2 times. It is present 3 times. It is present 2 times. It is present. So only duplicate values will be remain in the table because we have selected an option called as kept to duplicate. That means keep duplicates. Suppose you have the data. Your data contains a lot of errors. As of now, this table is clean. There are no errors in the data. But sometimes if you want your errors have data, and if you want to keep that errors, if you want to show that errors, you can click on keep errors. You can click on the keep errors. Okay. Now, if you want to say keep rows and remove rows will be opposite. If you click on remove top rows, suppose if I remove top rows, uh, uh, if I click on 10, so top 10 rows will be removed. Okay, like that. In the here we have remove bottom rows. Suppose you click on the remove bottom rows, 20 if I click on. So from down, what are the 10, 20 records are there that will be removed. So that is called as keep remove bottom rows. Okay, same. Remove alternates. If we remove duplicates, if you select, if you click on remove duplicates, whatever the duplicates will be there, that will be removed, and you will find only unique records. See, this is one time, this is one time, one. Every record will present only one time only. This you can say 18993 US 2011 CA 2000 and any record, all duplicates will be removed and only unique values will remain over here because you have used an option called as remove duplicates. If that means whatever the duplicate values are there in your particular row and all the duplicate values will be removed. Okay. Now remove duplicates, remove blank rows. If your data contains any blanks, if you don't want to that blanks, so the blanks will be removed. So remove alternate rows. That means alternates will be removed. One will remove, second will be deleted, third will remove. It will present, it will remove, it will present, it will remove, it will present. So if you remove the alternate rows, so one above the other. So first row to remove. In this condition, you will mention how many rows to remove. Starting from second row, number of starting from second row, how many number of rows you need to remove, 3 rows, and how many of numbers you need to keep, 2 rows you need to keep. So first row, starting from the second row, I want to remove the 3 rows should be removed. And after that, the number of rows to keep, 2 rows I need to keep. Again, the 3 rows should be removed. So in that specific pattern, if you want to see, then you can go for the remove alternate rows. So you need to mention what rows you need to keep, a number of rows to keep, remove, how many numbers of rows to keep. So this type of options also will be helpful for you. And not only this remove row, there is an option called duplicate blank rows. If there are blanks are there, that you can remove your blanks. Errors means if you want to errors are there, your client is not interested in finding the errors. If you want to remove the errors, you can remove the errors from here. So these type of the options are there in the Power Query. Okay. So not only the C, whatever the options that will be, all the suppose you are making some steps. So I'm clicking on remove columns. Okay, I click on remove columns. So this column is deleted. I click on it. Some I kept on this keep bottom rows. I will keep on 10. Okay, click on remove 10. So all the steps are recorded, right? And if you want to see all the steps in a single go in a type of formula where you can find. So there is an option called as in the home advanced editor. So it will record each and every step is recorded. And for each step, how the formula is executed, that formula will also recorded here. So here only we are recording only steps. For backend, what type of the formula is involved? What is the formula it is writing? What type of the mashup language is there? And for all these applied steps, you can find all the formulas in a single go. That is called as advanced editor. They will ask in the interview. You have performed different type of the steps. If you want to see how the steps are recorded, how the transformation recorded in the in a formula pattern, if you want to see in a single go, which option will be helpful for you? You can answer that is called as advanced editor. Advanced editor. Applied steps will only show you the steps, but in that steps, how the formula is executing, that it will give you. And you can ask me whether you are able to understand mug up this formula. No need. No need to mug up this formula. Just how the changes need, because Power Query transformations are directly writing the formula at the back end. Just how the steps are executed, just you need to understand, but no need to mug up the formula, because this formula is automatically executed at the back end. Okay, so that is the important thing that you need to notify over here. So this is now if you want to connect to the new source in the Power Query, from the Power Query also you can connect to the new sources. Okay, here when you click on this new sources, I want to connect a new Excel sheet. We have connected for order table, people table, return table. I want to connect to this Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, I have the desktop. I have one table called as employee department table, EMP. Just select. From the desktop, I want to bring the employee department Excel, this Excel into Power Query. Yes, into the Power Query also you can bring the tables, and the tables where will appear once you load, the tables will be appear here in the query section. Queries are nothing but tables. Now, if you select the employee table, you click on open. Once employee department table, right? EMP department. Yeah, I need to select employee department table. Now click on open. Right. Once you click on open, see the tables will be loaded. Employee department, these are the 3 columns are there. I try to employee department selection. You need to select those columns. After selecting what you will do, you need to click on OK. Once you click on OK, thus tables will be coming here. These tables are nothing but queries are nothing but tables. The tables you will be find over here. That means from the Power Query also you can connect to the new sources. And there is an option called as recent sources. So what are the recent sources that you have connected if you want to find? Recently, have you connected to sample superstore data? Recently, we have connected to this employee department table. That type of the recent sources, what you have connected, it will be present over here. When you open here in the recent, see, employee department table you have loaded. These three tables are coming from this recent source. This is the table that we have connected. And order table, people table, return table, we have loaded from sample superstore data at the beginning. That will be returned over here. And geography, this while for other batches, for explaining the other different type of the batches, I have loaded this table. Okay. So this is the thing that we need to understand. And one more thing, in the beginning of the classes, I have explained how to enter the data. So not only we can load the table directly, you can manually enter the data. If you manually, you can create the tables in the Power Query. In order to, which is the option that will be helpful for you to create the tables manually. That option we call it as enter data. In the enter data, you can employ the manually. So the column, I will suppose I'm taking as name and I am taking as mobile number. See, name I am writing as Janardhan. Mobile number I am giving a 809666764. Okay. So we are giving some type of the names over here. You can give the names over here. I am giving the name of the Neeli Maharaj. So I'm giving just dummy number like something in it. So I'm giving the name of suppose Ishwar. So number I'm giving something number on. I am writing name of Subbarayadu. So we have created these numbers over here. So after we have created the tables over here, because now I want to load these tables. Now you click on OK. So once you click on OK, so the table, once this table it is there, right? You have loaded this table. If you want to give this table name, you can give the table. See, this table it is loaded. Close the table. See the table we have created, Janardhan, Neelima, Ishwar, the table we got it here. If you want to rename this table, how you can rename this table? I want to rename table as contact information. Yeah, the contact information, right? So like this, you can able to get the information. That means this table is not loaded from anywhere. You have directly entered, you have entered the manual tables from here. So that we can do from the entire table. Okay. Now there is an option called refresh preview and refresh all. So if you suppose in the orders table at the back end over here, if the new data is added, suppose think that in the orders table, returns table, the client had added some new data. So we have a go to control D. I will go to last section, 995 rows. Think that he added some new data. So I will select this data over here, this table, sir. Control C. Think control V have added some new data like this added for our understanding. If such data is added, now it will not directly reflect over here. Even you have connected this, it will not directly reflect here. So if you want to that data to need to add over here, you need to click on refresh all. Once you click on refresh all, if any data is added at here, that data will also automatically update here. No need to again you will go and connect to the data. That is called as when you click on refresh all the tables will be get refreshed. In the order table, suppose in the future employee department they added some data. If anything they added any data tomorrow, suppose in the yesterday night they have added. Now tomorrow after coming this, you need to click on refresh all. Automatically with the data where they have added new tables, will new data added, it will automatically update here. That is called as refresh all. Now, if you think that in the
Sir,
order
I have
step,
a question on this.
yeah, yeah.
So we have downloaded from the sample data, right? So
Hmm.
if I add in the sample data, you are saying that that will get added automatically once we click on refresh, right?
Refresh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. One more thing. There is a difference called, yeah, automatical refresh. It will, if
Oh,
it
we
is
don't.
added, yeah, we no need to again load the data because
Okay.
already the connection is established, right? Already idle people we have already connected. just you need to click on refresh all, and automatically if any new data is added, that will automatically update it over here. No need to again delete this table and again you connect to the data. So that is not the process, because already you have connected that information. Once you click on, already it is there in this data source connection. When you go to the data source setting, see, so sample superstore data that we connected from the desktop, it is here. See, Janardhan Patribhaka, that means connection is already established here. Now just you need to come over and you need to click on refresh. Okay. And one more thing, they will ask a question, what is meant by refresh preview and refresh all? When you click on refresh all the tables of the data, if there is if they add in returns table or this employee table, EMP data table, employee department table, this TR table, right? Whatever that data added in that, all the tables are automatic. When you click on refresh all the tables will get updated. Okay. But you think that my data, this employee table, they have not added in the particular table, in the order people return tables also, they have added the data only the order section. In that condition, you can select the order table and you can click on refresh preview. Refresh preview, when you click, only this table will be get refreshed. But if you select instead of refresh preview, if you select refresh all, so what are the tables that are already taken, already there, all the tables will automatically refreshed. Okay. What then you can say, what is the use of this? Because in the real time, if you connect to the 100 tables, if you go and click on refresh all, if your tables contain huge amount of the data, it will take a lot of time to get refreshed, because it will go and scan all the tables and it will go and scan where there any new data is added. It will go and check each and every table, and it will take some time, and your report performance will be decreased. Because if you click on refresh all, it will go and order table. It will go to the order table. It will go and check to the source. Any data is added, it will go and check. If any data is added, it will come here and it will add. And if you go to again refresh all, if you click on, if you go to the people table, that means it will scan the people table here to the data source. It will check for any new data is added. If any new data is added, it will go and it will refresh here and it will bring the data here. So for this, it will take a lot of time. That means I am not saying it will take minutes of time, but the scanning process will be taking place at that point of time. But in the real time, if you connect to the millions of sources, it is not a problem. If you click on refresh or refresh preview, there are only 9,000 rows. Here in the returns table, we have some 100 or 150 rows. In the people table, we have only few. It is not a problem. Refresh preview and refresh all is taking time. What happens if you connect to some large amount of the tables which contains millions of rows? In that condition, and you are enough confident that all the tables and my client is not changing data. He informed me only orders table. There is only changes in this particular column. The changes are happening. Then go and select the table and click on refresh preview. Only that table will be refreshed and the refresh time will be decreased and the burden on your Power BI desktop will be decreased. So that is called as refresh and refresh preview. So that is all about of today's class. So we have learned so much of the concepts here. How to download the Power BI desktop from Google? I will share that video. It is very easy process like installing an app. And we have seen once you see, we have made this much changes. If you want to save these changes, you need to click on close and apply. Once you click on the close and apply, you will see your changes are happening over here. Now you will come to the Power BI desktop. Yeah, all changes are happening. Now again, if you now we are, this is the Power BI desktop. We have seen what is data pane, what is visualization, what is filter, what is report view, what is table view, what is data modeling view. From Power BI desktop, how we want to move to Power Query, how you can move. You click on the transform data. From there, you will go to the Power Query. And we have seen what are the different type of option: Power Query, Ben Query pane, applied steps, body pane, results pane. And we have seen how to merge the columns and how to get the dates, how to connect to the recent sources, how to enter the data. And those are the information that we have discussed. Okay. Now I will share the recording to you. And I said this will be the, let me stop the recording. Right.